Okay, and I'm just going to, if you need to, like, if you make a bunch of nodes and you want to see them alphabetically, you can just leave the folder and jump back into it, and it'll try and reorganize it based off of alphabeticalness. And again, make sure you save so it keeps the materials. All right, so what can we do with this, Dave? Okay, so obviously the material instances are great because we have a master material that we can add a bunch of stuff to, expose portions of it out to our artist friends who don't want to deal with a bunch of BS in the shader. And if you want to change stuff on the fly for you guys who are interested in this, it makes it way faster to do that. So let's look at a slightly more complicated example, okay? And we're going to kind of jump forward a little bit here. And I want to talk about material functions. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up now, because if we're going to build off of this, and we're eventually going to go into layered materials with vertex blending. But to do that, we kind of have to start at the beginning. We've talked about the basic materials, and we talked about instances. But there's another form of materials, and that's called a material function. So I'm going to double-click that, and we're going to open this guy up. Now, again, this content was made beforehand, so you didn't have to watch me fumble around with it. But all the texture maps, they're all PBR based, and they're all off of Megascans from the Quixel guys. Dudes, it's fucking cool, and I'm so stoked for them to get this stuff out finally. It's going to be really awesome. But let's look at this here. Actually, let's start like this. Let me just open a default material function so you can see what this looks like. Right-click, material function. Double-click that. What the hell is that? This is an output node, okay? Now, we have a bunch of things that are still kind of exposed to us. It's kind of like a material, but it's not. We're basically going to feed a submaterial into a bigger material, if that makes any sense. And I'll show you this, and hopefully this does make sense. So if I come up here and type mat, we have this make material attributes. I'm going to drag this guy out. Hey, that kind of looks familiar, but there's a shitload more stuff on this. Okay? Not going to worry about any of this stuff down here. This is basically the majority of the parameters that you would need to go in and use if you wanted to make just a standard shader, okay? So let's look at that. Let's put a constant 3 vector in there. So we have our basic material. Let's give it something cool so we can see it. Okay. And do 1 here for our metallic. And 1 vector for our roughness. What the hell did I just do? Hitting the keyboard. That's what I did. And let's plug this into the output too so we can just kind of see the preview of it. So we got that. And this all looks familiar, right? This isn't anything crazy. Okay? But this can be taken much further. Because if I was just to grab this function here, I can't throw this on anything. Okay? Like this is used for something entirely different. And let me just double check to make sure it's because I haven't saved it yet. Oh, thank God. I don't look like a total jackass. All right, doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Okay, this is used to feed layered materials back into, this is going to allow us to feed a bunch of material attributes into a main material, and then we can use that and expand it out further than that. Like, so it's going to get a little weird, but we'll walk through this. So let's see what that looks like in kind of a practical term. I'm just going to minimize this guy, or I'll close it down because Camtasia is being an SOB. Material, test, so you can see what the hell is going on. Double click this guy. Okay, so what I can basically do is I can take, where did that go? This is what I get for not naming shit. Son of a bitch. I can drag this material function into here, okay? And obviously this isn't named. We don't have any parameterizations done. But we can kind of start to see this, okay? But wait a minute, we can't. Why? This is not compatible with a float3 vector. Why is that? That is because this is a different shader property. And basically what we need to do is we need to tell Unreal, hey, use this because we're basically going to give you all the attributes through this material function, okay? Ta-da. You're like, okay, why in the name of God would you do that? That doesn't make any sense at all. You're kind of being a jackass, Dave. Kind of, but watch this. Material, layered, standard. I'm going to alt-click on that node to disconnect it. I'm going to plug this back into the base value. And Control-C, Control-V onto this material function. Open this material function back up. I'm going to just change some stuff. Okay, let's say here, you're purple now. Cool. Save. Come back into our test material. Drag that material instance back in. We're again saving the entire time. Going to look at this top material. Okay, nothing's going to happen right now because I'm going to plug this in. We don't have an alpha variable, so right now this thing is just reading as 1-to-1 for this. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to pull in a vertex color. Okay, I'll throw this guy in here. And for right now, we'll just leave it as the red channel. Let's save this. Save it. Okay. Where is test? Right there. Now, click on this guy. And actually, let me open up test, and I'm going to change this purple dude. Yeah, I'm going to change the roughness value of this so we can see the difference here. 0.5. Apply that. All right, and we're going to come under here, under this little paintbrush here. This is our vertex paint dude. And I'm going to switch it all to red. Actually, it doesn't matter because I'm painting in red, so. And let's go and fill this guy black. Okay. See that? Okay, we're starting to get somewhere now. Okay. I have 4 channels in a vertex color, RGB and A. Okay, we can take that and then we can multiply that against a mask. I don't have a mask handy, but we're going to make one really quick. Okay, it's going to be pretty straightforward to do this. So, and I'll probably pause the video because I always F it up. But I'm just going to take this cavity map, which is not intended for what I'm about to show you, but it's here, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to multiply that by that. Next thing we're going to do, put an add node down. And we're going to take the red, kind of hit this over the head a little bit. We're going to add the red back into the multiplied node here. After we do that, we're going to need to do a power node. This power node is going to obviously, not obviously, it's going to control, it's panner, Jesus. It's like, that doesn't look right. We'll talk about panners in just a second because they're fucking cool. There's a lot of cool stuff. Take this into the base. And I'm going to put a constant out here so I can expose this later if I wanted to. And we're going to say 15. And then we're going to go in and we're going to use a clamp node. Plug that guy right back in. And then let's go ahead and just shove this dude right into here. Okay, apply that. Ooh, wait a minute. Identified. I don't know what the hell that means. Of course that doesn't happen when I'm doing this. Actually, you know what? We might not even need a clamp node. Let's try this. Nope, it does. The multiply node coming into here. All right, I figured it out. Thank God, because I was losing my effing mind. Basically, I had this set to standard, and you want to use this as a simple, matte layered simple. Otherwise, it returns some type of weird shader function. But this is something I yanked off of one of Torfrick's videos. This is used to do kind of basically lerping based off of materials. But I just removed the lerp node, and I'm running it through the power node to do the clamp, and this is what it gives you. It allows you to kind of go in and actually do vertex blending based off of this map. So again, just let's look at this really quick. We have a vertex color. It's getting passed by a texture. We're going to multiply that. We're going to add the red channel and the multiplied output together. Then we're going to run it through a power. We could actually even go in and clamp this as well. But the clamping, I believe, only works for, I mean, not only works, but is done to preserve energy conservation. So it's like 0 to 1, basically, so you don't get weird results. So now, we go ahead and have that clamp so it doesn't go outside of it. And now we have our materials. You can see them here, those two. And let's jump over here into the vertex color. Now, I've got to remember what the hotkey was. I keep switching between hammers like hotkeys and shit, so it's like really messing me up. And again, we're only painting in the red channel here, so as I paint red, it'll remove it. And let's go ahead and see what it looks like when I paint it black, essentially erasing the red. All right, so now let's look at this. Okay, so we have two materials, but again, like I said earlier, this vertex node has 3 other channels. So, like, how the hell do we use that? Well, we can expand on this. So I can copy this node, and I can say, hey, that's your new base color, okay? This blended output is your new base color. Let's add a new variable on top of that. Control-C, Control-V. And I'm just going to copy that material function over, and I'm just going to give it a different color. Save that. And jump back into our tusk material here. Okay. And again, we made that duplicate right there. You can see it right here, this new function 3. We're just going to drag that back in. Remember to save, always save. We're going to drop this back on top. We're going to take, because we don't want to redo all this stuff, because especially like if you're like me, I forget this shit all the damn time. Like I'll do the same thing and I'll just block out its numbers. It reminds me of math class. I spent most of my time in math class higher than a kite, so the fact that I'm still doing this is pretty impressive. But all we're going to do is we're going to change this. Instead of this pointing to the red, let's go to the green. Okay? And, you know, just keep, for consistency's sake, we'll just propagate that over as well. Okay, my girlfriend is traveling and she's blowing up my Facebook, and I don't know how to turn off that damn notification thing. Love you, honey. So let's go ahead and apply that. And now, let's go ahead and see what happens when we paint in the green. And hopefully this fucking works. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Why? Because this is not plugged into the output material. Yay. Okay. So again, it might work a little bit inverse because, again, I'm layering this on top, so you kind of actually have to work backwards. But as you can kind of see, we're starting to get this little layered effect, okay? Which is really nice. Now, why the hell haven't I shown you guys this? Like, or why, like, if you guys watched the making of for that level I made, why didn't I use this? Well, let's show you. Let's see if this is going to show it in here. I don't know if it's going to show it in the actual shader complexity. No, it's still pretty cheap right now. Oh, it's actually not that cheap. This can get really expensive really fast. I'm going to take this and build this out so it has the variables of all 3 nodes, just so you guys can see what this is going to look like, because we are going to essentially, we're using simple colors, but we're going to essentially swap that using all of these scan data from Quixel to make a bunch of cool blends and stuff. Now, this is something that I think is super useful to actually know how to do, and if you have the computing power to do it, I say go balls to the wall with it, but, you know, just be careful with it. So let's look at it really quick here. Not you. And again, I'm just going to be copying the material functions just for the sake of time. Changing the color. There we go. Gold. I like gold. Change the roughness there. Come back into our little test asset. And again, same thing applies. All we're going to do is we're going to take this material blend mode, Control-C, Control-V. Boom, that's our new base material. Let's add into material. It's going to throw an error because we haven't given it anything, which is totally expected. Again, we are using base layer blend symbol. Okay, if I use standard, I get really freaking weird errors. So I'm probably doing something wrong, but this works. So if you want it to work, do that. Copy and paste that vertex data. Plug that right back into our alpha. We've already done green, so let's jump over to blue. Whoa. Here we go. Hello, Nelly. Hold on. I don't have an alpha channel in this, so we're going to stop at this point with it. Okay. And let's grab our gold material function here. Okay. Apply that. Okay. And again, I'm going to switch over to the blue here and jump back to get a little bit of the green coming back through. Okay. Why are you not? Let me look at this really quick. That's weird. Fill that entire thing. Ooh. Remove. Okay. This is a debug view, just so like if you're going through it and you're like, what the hell? That's not working. Okay. So we have blue. Fill the whole thing with white so it all looks blue. And we're just going to look at the RGB view so I can see this here. No, I just want blue. Give me the blue. Fill it with blue. All white. Come on. Stay with me here. Fill. Okay. RGB. Off. Okay. Correct. Let's jump over to green. Okay. Why isn't this showing up? Again, the way this is set up is it's let me just try and help you guys visualize this a little better. Yeah. Isn't it clear by looking at this what the hell I'm doing? This is one of the problems with this stuff is it takes like a really complicated thing and it just makes it look more complicated. But we'll break this down so it's hopefully easier to understand. This is the render order. Okay? So when I flooded, this is again yellow. This is, I think, blue or purple. Anyway, yellow's on top. Okay? Yellow's material 1. So when I flooded the material with yellow or blue, you know what? Actually, just to make this damn thing a little easier to understand for you guys, I don't know why I just didn't color code it to the corresponding channels. I'm over on the other monitor here changing this. Apply. There we go. Blue. And I'm just going to change this guy to be red. I'm going to save this and hope to God. Oop, I altered the function. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go back into our test material here. And let's look at our RGB. Okay. And I'm going to remove all the color off of it. Okay. Remove. Okay. Off. All right. Let me remove this and set this guy to black. I'm going to be painting in blue. So underneath blue, we have our red. I'm going to paint a little bit more out. Let me, oops, I screwed that up. All right, Let me go in. Remove all of that. Start this thing back over. Here we go. We're going to paint in. Let's go ahead and paint in green. Yep. Go ahead and remove that. And again, you can see the clamp node there giving us kind of that nice little breakup. And red, let me actually change this to green. Where the hell are you? It was this guy. There we go. And let me see here. Let's jump all the way. Flood back to green here. Oop. Flood back to green. I always get confused. I always end up having to remove it. Come back in here. Actually, it doesn't matter. We should just be staying within the single channels just so we don't get confused. I'm just going to go remove all of it. Okay, and this should be, sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to explain this stuff. Okay, so we have our material, our layered material. Obviously, this is blue. It's on top. If I go ahead and paint inside, or paint out the blue with white, nothing's going to happen because it's their base layer. If I go to green, nothing's going to happen. Okay, I have to fill it with, like, I'm basically erasing with that top vertex color. Okay, and same with red. Okay, and if I want to go back to green to fill in that red, oops, Control Z. Let me see what this is looking like. So there's the blue. Let me look back at my test material here just to remember what I'm doing here. Vertex color coming into there. What mask is that using? That's blue. That's green, and that's red. Yeah, that's right. Let's go all the way back to blue. Fill that with pure white. That actually should be painting out, but of course it's not, because it's a live demo. I don't know why it's doing that. That is bizarre. You can actually just see my workflow for figuring out what the hell's going on. I'm literally just removing. Unreal, come on, dude. There we go. I'm literally just removing out the that main paint layer. The thing that's a little strange is I should be able to do the inverse on that. Like I should be able to come into here and paint green, but it's not letting me do that for some reason, which is a little strange. And what I could do, I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, it isn't going to help anything. And come back down onto green. Let's going to showcase the red. Flood that red with white. There we go. There we go. And same with blue. I should be able to take this guy and fill him with black. Now there's nothing underneath this, right? Like that, there's no green, so come back into here. Oh, wrong one. Fill that white. Come on. Fill that. Good Lord. I don't know why it's being so difficult. I always have the weirdest damn time when I try and use vertex colors with stuff. There it goes. Yeah, was that so hard? And again, as you're doing it, like you're going to be mixing colors and stuff. And again, if you paint like kind of per channel here, which is what I'm basically doing, is I'm just saying, hey, use one channel over the other. I'll just fill this all white. Okay. Actually, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to paint this all red. Oh, I'm selecting the wrong thing. God. Okay. Very nice. Good job, David. You can do this. There's red. Green. Obviously, since they're all 100%, it's contributing to the underlying layer. So if I remove that, that's where that kind of that blue tint comes from, because I'm removing out the red channel, which we should see something. Or not. Dear Lord. Wonder if I'm even... Okay. Step back to black. All right. God, this thing is pissing me the fuck off. Okay, fill you black. Nope, it's just going to be difficult. I'm going to have to remove the colors again. There it goes. Gosh. It's that direct overlay thing. But essentially, that's kind of what I'll end up doing, is like I'll literally just kind of play around with this until I understand what the hell's going on with it. And again, you're layering out the materials, right? So if it feels a little weird when you're doing it, let me just change that. Yeah, there you go. That gives you your inverse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. And let's go ahead, turn off the color mixing. For the love of God, do not mix your channels. It's just going to make things weird. So you see it, the blue kind of coming through underneath that. If you want to see more blue, jump on over to the green channel, set that to black, or to white, sorry. And there you go. Okay. And let's just show you really quick what those lerp nodes do again, just so you guys, are not lerp nodes, but these power nodes do, and why they were so important. I have it set to a really high value. I'm just going to set this to 0. Apply that. See how soft that is? It's like crazy. It's not even... Set that to 1. Getting a little bit in there. Still pretty soft. Right? Now, if I hit it with a hammer, like I do all of this, it breaks it up really nice. Okay? Sorry about the fumbling around with that, but that is what happens sometimes. You just kind of fumble around with it. Let me show you guys again. This material function, yes, save it. Yes, save it. So what we have, again, just to recap, we have this material blend sample that's looking up to two other material functions. We got a red guy over there. We got a blue guy, or a green guy. Okay? That is getting sorted by the red channel. Okay? This is the red channel controlling the green. We can tell that because we have it on our sampler color and our vertex color that we're talking to for the mask. We're saying, hey, let's take this texture sample, this vertex color, let's multiply them, let's add them together. And all we're trying to do is get a really clean, like crisp mask. We add them together, we run a power node on it, multiply it by a high variable or a high exponent 30. We clamp it so it doesn't freak out, so put it back inside of 0 to 1. That gets shoved back into this material blend sample. This material blend sample, this output, this layered output, is then piped into this other material blend sample. This is how we're layering up materials. We're starting to stack them, essentially. Okay? And that looks over to apparently another green one. Apparently I didn't set that up correctly, which is fine. I should have put a different color into it or something, but whatever. And so forth and so on, all the way down through the chain. Okay? Yep, there it is. That's the guy that it's looking up to. Let me actually, let's give it a fourth color here real quick, just for shits and giggles. Aha. You're kidding me. I did that? Of course I did. I actually think I messed something up in the material chain. Let me just look at this for a second. It's material function 1. Yeah, you know what? Let's just drop. Should pop up. Cool, didn't show up. I wonder if it's in here. Okay, we're going to swap that material function with this. Okay. And let's kind of walk on down through this chain here. We got our green dude contributing. And that's where it's all messed up. It's right here. There we go. See? It's nice to go back and check through your work because you always screw shit up if you are David. Off. All right, let's see here. Set this to black. There's our yellow. Let's jump over to green. Set this to white. See if this does anything. Nope, still yellow. Cool. Jump over to red. Set that to black. And I should be able to erase it all the way down, I thought. Okay. What I'm going to do for this, so I can actually see my yellow function here, or not my yellow, but my green, which looks like it's hiding. There's that. There you are. So that's yellow. Wait, do I have two yellows? Did I do it again? I did. Damn it. Material function 3. It's in the name. Let's grab material function 2. Jesus. Oh. Do I have material function 2 in here? I'd be really pissed if I do. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this all. It's all removed. I'm going to paint this. Let's look at the RGB. Set remove. Set it all black. Will that do it? Okay. And turn that off. Red. Start off in the red channel. Okay. Start off in the green channel. Green. Start off in the blue channel. Jesus. God, that only took an hour to do. That is all because I did not pay attention to what I was doing. I had two duplicate materials in the function. But I swear to God, this thing is actually really robust. But at least I kind of debugged it in front of you guys so you guys could walk through what the hell was happening. Ugh. Gross. I think it was green that did that. Green's green. Let's get rid of some of that blue. Again, to get rid of it, just use black. I think we used green for green. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So, really, really useful, okay? And what the hell can we use this for? We can use this for a shitload of things, in particularly if you need to blend surfaces together. So, let's jump in to start looking at some of that, okay? So to recap, we talked about all of these cool little material functions here, material instances, simple, super simple material instance from a, basic material, just default material, that material to a material function, and also as well as material instancing, okay? And again, the instance gives us the power to do awesome things on the fly. Okay? Yeah, I don't think I have it tied into that. And yes, you can tie instances into this as well, and it gets even more interesting. But again, as you guys can see, this is literally something you kind of spend a day doing or whatever. Obviously, there are guys who are much better at this than me, who are really good at it, and they just kind of set it all up. But let's go ahead and just look really quick before I sign off on this. Let's look at the shader complexity. It's not too bad, right? This guy's a slightly darker hue. That's okay. If I wasn't running Camtasia, this thing would be flying at 1,000,000 frames a second. Okay. And let us continue on. Okay. I'm just going to we're going to stay here in this little look dev environment. A, because I don't want to reset anything up, but B, I like the way that ball looks. No. We're going to kind of step through all of this stuff again. And again, we're going to talk about this. Let me just kind of get back out of this so I can look at the, I'm just going to organize this really quick. Let's just call this solids. I'm just going to take all of these guys just so I can see what the hell I'm doing. It's an organizational thing for me. I'm just going to move them out. Or not. Gonna be so difficult. Did it copy him in there? Jesus, unreal. Move here. Oh boy. Move here. Move here. That's how you move stuff in the editor. It's pretty easy. I'm just going to duplicate those guys again. And up here at the top, if I hit the space bar, I can move and rotate. I can also scale. Okay, by default, this stuff is going to scale, like kind of on the individual level, which really does suck. So if we want to do that, see if it'll let me do it this way. Yeah, we can numerically scale it off the individuals right here. Not that big. God damn it, David. Okay. So start small. Now we're going to get a little bit more applied with our workflow.